Pozdrav svima ljudi i dobrodošli u novi video. Danas snimamo prvi video reakcije na video, a radi se o reakciji na video o gospodinu kontroverznom Adnrew Tateu. Pa zašto je on toliko kontroverzan i zašto snimam ovaj video? Upravo iz tog razloga da vam pokažem kako sistem prikazuje istinu na krivi način i kako predstavlja ljude na neki loš način, a zapravo je totalna kontra od svega. Jako puno ljudi je stvorilo jako krivo mišljenje o čovjeku koji nam zapravo govori istinu o svemu što nas okružuje. Zato bacimo se na video i da vidimo zapravo što čovjek misli i što nam zapravo govori. Sa strane stavimo sve ono što, kako se ga se predstavlja kao toksičnog muškarca, kao lažica, kao prevaranta, kao nekakvog trgovca ljudima, kao svemu što zapravo čovjek nije. I nevjerovatno je koliko sistem nama želi predstaviti istinu kao laž.
You ever look around you and just look at the world and feel like, kind of like we're in the Matrix, like there's something missing?
Do you think that's like the government making those decisions? Way above them. Like that's what I mean. Like who do you think is they?
There are people who've been in charge of the world for quite long. And people at the book.
Ko su zapravo ti ljudi? Kažu ko nas kontrolira? Nisu to vlade. Nijedna vlada svijeta je samo paravan, samo igrači koji slušaju ljude iznad njih. A to su zapravo vlasnici korporacija, vlasnici tvrtki, vlasnici institucija, vlasnici banaka. Oni ljudi koji proizvode novac. Znači oni ljudi koji su u stanju printati novac iz neba. I nas doslovno zarabljati i praviti nas robovima u smislu da moramo prodavati svoje vrijeme za isti taj novac koji oni čupaju iz neba.
Just don't seem to get it. They don't seem to wake up. And they don't seem to wake up because the people in charge try very hard to keep them asleep. You're constantly distracted by everything. You are done. You are now full slave mode. And that's all they want.
Tako je. Mi smo, znači, u zadnje 3 godine se pretvorili u totalan slave mode, odnosno u robote. Ne u robove, nego u robote. Robovi su bili praktički slobodni ljudi, oni su odradili svoje, dobili su kuću, dobili su hranu, dobili su smještaj, dobili su krevet, a šta smo mi danas? Mi smo danas roboti programirani, usporeni i odrade od nas nevjerovatne botove, znači doslovno smo botovi koji vide ovak samo doslovno ispred svojih nosova, a to je zapravo čista ova stvar. Znači totalna diskracija ovog naroda, nevjerovatna stvar koliko uspijevaju u tome.
It's always been the same playbook. It's absolutely incredible that people are not awakened to see what's fucking happening. I struggle to sleep at night. Like literally what's happening is fucking crazy. A lot of people out here, it still amazes me. They believe the government care about them. What the government wants is slaves. This is what...
Malo ću se dotaknuti ove teme. Zašto? Zato što ovdje, pogotovo u Njemačkoj, znači ljudi nevjerovatno misle da vlada ide na njihovu ruku, da im vlada pomaže, da se zapravo ljudi misle da vlada pomaže ljudima na taj način da daje im slobodu. Koju slobodu? Vi nemamo više slobodu. Sloboda je zamijenjena za sigurnost. Sad si siguran. Nemojte izlaziti van u park, nemojte ići van bez maske, budite sigurni. Znači, zamijenili smo slobodu za sigurnost sad. Što je sljedeće? Nevjerovatno koliko su ljudi maloumni i zatvorenih očiju i kaže pa dobro, dobili smo 300 eura pomoći. Kojih 300 eura pomoći? Jednokratne pomoći 300 eura za cijene koje su otišle 400-500 puta gore. Nevjerovatno.
Slavery is not gone anywhere, right? So the old school idea of slavery, let's talk about slavery. A government would get slaves, make them work for free and build things.
To je ono što ćemo se sad malo prije pričati.
That's slavery. So they've stopped doing that now. So what do now? They get people, make them build things for money, but the government print all the money. So if a government can create as much as they want of something from thin air, and you'll give up your life for this thing they can create from thin air as much as they want, you are still their slave. That's it. You used to be a slave and you'd work all day, and at the end you got food in the house. Now you work all day, you get money, and you spend all your money on food and a house. Slavery is still here, my friend.
Nevjerovatno, da. Robovlasništvo je i dalje tu. samo što ljudi to ne vide. Toliko smo zaokupljeni, Matrix nas se toliko zaokupio sa nepotrebnim stvarima, sa mobitelima, sa potrebama koje nam uopće nisu potrebe.
Nothing's changed, right? Nothing's changed. And what they want is they want slaves. They want slaves who are going to comply and pay their taxes. And whatever kind of indoctrination or societal programming.
Či samo plati, uopće nije bitno. Biće sve u redu, doći tvoje vrijeme, ali samo plati, bit će sve ok. To je ono o čemu oni nama pričaju.
They can instill inside of people to keep them doing that. They're going to do anything it takes to stop people waking up and realizing, whoa, the government's fucking me here. Let's forget Corona. Let's forget locking us all in our houses and taking our business away. I'm paying how much tax? What? You're helping me how much? If you actually wake up and look around.
Samo za primjer, znači u Njemačkoj tu ti skidaju sa plaće na porez, imaš kvazi te klase koje su ti određene, ako si oženjen, nisi oženjen, ako nisi oženjen, plaćaš puno više poreza. Kad si oženjen, dao si znači governmentu, odnosno vladi dopuštenje na svoj brak, potpisao si, stavio si government na leđa i šta se događa, ne možeš ništa bez njih. Upravljaju tvoj brak, upravljaju tvoje veze, upravljaju tvoj život kompletan.
Around you, you realize you're being destroyed in real time. The idea that government cares about them is a lie. The government is never going to tell you anything that's going to wake you up. The government's going to teach you things that are going to make you subservient and compliant. They're going to tell you all this crap about identifying as a panda and all this other shit is not an accident. When they can convince the average person on the street to pretend that some other person is a panda because they said so, you are fully in the slave mindset. Every single one of us, to some degree, is an empty vessel. We're all programmed. There's no such thing as escaping the slave mind. You must just, to some degree, understand who is programming you and understand if you really want those characteristics.
Tako je, to je bit. Biti u tome što ljudi zapravo ni ne znaju, nisu svjesni toga da su programirani. Nisu svjesni toga da upravlja neko drugi s njihovim životima. Tebi više nije dozvoljeno da razmišljaš svojom glavom. Tebi je preporučeno kako da razmišljaš. Tebe hrane sa takvim stvarima da ti razmišljaš na onaj način kako oni žele da ti razmišljaš. Da ni u jednom trenutku ni ne pomisliš, a kamoli shvatiš da smo u banani, da smo začarani.
Most people are repeating opinions. I'm saying, where did you get that opinion from? They can't remember where they got it from. They don't know who told them. They don't know why they so fervently believe in it. They're just told, they're programmed. You need to genuinely analyze your brain, defrag every single opinion you strongly have and identify where it came from and if that person has your best interest at heart. And what they're trying to do, especially with young men, is program them, because we're all empty vessels. And what you have to do as an adult, as a parent, is to program your child stronger than all of society. It's not...
Tako je, to kreće od malih nogu. Od ovak dok smo mali bili 3, 4, 5 godina, taj moment je prekretnica. Uči nas od samog starta krivo, ali niko nije kriv. Naši roditelji nisu krivi zato što su i oni programirani na isti taj način.
Easy job, because all of society, from the YouTube videos to the TV shows to the school, every single thing is trying to program them in one direction. You have to combat that, and that's not an easy job. And if you just sit there and get lazy about it, you will fucking lose. When Rome was losing, all they did was have endless circuses to keep you distracted from the losing war. The world we live in today, they try very hard to prevent you from creating your reality. You're constantly distracted by everything, and it's hard to focus on nearly anything.
Primijetit ćete ovo tu samo na jedan način. Ostavite mobitel na 5 minuta, znači ugasite sve što je električno, sve što ima električne signale, znači ostavite to na 5 minuta samo i sjednite u svoju sobu ili negdje van na klupu. Primijetit ćete da nakon 2 minute nećete znati što sami sa sobom. Nećete moći kontrolirati svoje misli zato što jednostavno niste u sposobnosti da kontrolirate svoje misli, da primijetite ono o čemu zapravo u tom trenutku razmišljate.
And they do that on purpose. For you to go stand out in the rain and protest, that takes focus. They want you distracted. They want arguments in the household. They want blacks to hate the whites, Republicans to hate Democrats. They want us all arguing with each other, for all of us to hate our neighbor, and all to be so distracted and selfish and self-absorbed that we can't think beyond ourselves. That's what they're trying to do to us, and it's absolutely and utterly work. There's very few of these people, and look what they've fucking done to the entire world.
Jako ih je malo, a toliko su moćni. Nevjerovatno. Nevjerovatno.
absolutely insane.
You're existing inside of a system which is deliberately rigged to make the rich richer and for the poor to stay poor. And for you can sit there and get upset about it. You can sit there and cry about it and say the system needs to change, which is what some people do. But I think that's not. I know.
To je ono, da. Ljudi sjede sa strane prekriženih ruku i kaže joj, jednog dana će se sve promijeniti. Joj, daj Bože, bit će bolje. Joj, bit će sve ok jednog dana. Pomireni smo sa tom situacijom da smo nemoćni. To je onaj problem najveći, što smo se pomirili sa situacijom da smo nemoćni, a u jednu ruku uživamo u tome komforu.
That's a waste of time, right? That's futile. The best thing to do is to understand the rules of the game and find a way to win. So, yes, the game is rigged.
Tako je. Morate razumjeti pravila igre da bi shvatili gdje griješite. Čovjek koji se osvijesti i koji zna na koji je način kontroliran, tek onda ćete moći početi razmišljati na drugačiji način.
Yes, the richer are always going to get richer. Yes, the poor are always going to struggle. And that's the way the game is set up. So you still need to find the best move on the chessboard. There's no point sitting there saying, I want to play a different game, because that's never going to happen.
I was having a conversation with someone the other day. They were talking about Joe Biden and his relief checks. He gave out $1,400 to all the people in America because of Corona.
To je ovo što sam upravo primjer sa Njemačkom. Njemačka je dala 300 eura pomoći ljudima za povećanje električne energije. U ovu ruku su napravili, Joe Biden je prošle godine zapravo napravio čekove svakom građaninu od $1,400. Zašto? Kao pomoć. A što se događa? Slušajte što se događa.
They say, don't you think he's good that he's helping the poor? I said, you think that helps the poor? Let's talk about this. You give 100 people a $1,400 check, right? Everyone understands you can't just leave it in the bank forever because of inflation. The value goes down. Because what happens when they print trillions of dollars from the sky, the dollar becomes less valuable. And now we're living in a world right now where inflation's getting out of control.
Jako puno ljudi živi u mentalnom sklopu da štedi novac, čuvaj novac, štedi novac za budućnost. Zašto da štediš novac? Zašto da štediš nešto što oni printaju iz zraka? Nema smisla. Čemu smisao čuvanja nečega što neko može printati? Nema smisla, ljudi. Da li bi vi čuvali, ne znam, primjer čokoladice neke koje su jednostavno nemaju vrijednost, a ti ih skupljaš i misliš da će ti jednog dana to promijeniti život. Znači, totalno krivo mišljenje.
Especially in America, right? In the last year, inflation's up like 6-7%. So no poor person is going to take that money and just leave it in the bank. They're going to either spend it or invest it. Let's say there's 100 poor people and 100 poor people spend their money. What do they spend it with? Businesses. Who owns businesses? Rich people. Amazon, their stock price went up 30%. Why? Because people get stimulus checks and spend it on Amazon. It all went to the rich guy. And then they go, oh yeah, but what about they invest it? Invest it where? Invest it in the stock market? That increases the stock price. Who owns the company? Rich people. You've made them richer. What if you and all your poor friends, 20 poor friends, and be more than 20, 200 poor friends, put all your money in together and bought one house between you? That still takes one house off the market and raises the property value of that area. Who already owns those expensive houses? Rich people. You can't stop making the rich richer. You cannot stop it. People inside the matrix don't understand what's happening. And they're going to sit there and go, but the government cares about me. You gave me $1,400. The government doesn't give a shit about you. The government.
Normalno. Njih boli ona stvar za vas. Za nas, za sve nas. Mi smo tu samo njima da bi se oni bogatili još više.
The government is looking after its friends. The government gave all the slaves a little bit of pocket money so they can send it all to the rich guys. It's all a scam.
Even when I was going to school and they're sitting there going, you're not going to get a good job if you don't get good.
Ovo je jako važan dio, znači o školi. Jako puno ljudi me popljuvalo kad sam rekao da je škola najveća prevara. A škola je zapravo i školski sustav je najveća prevara na ovoj planeti. Poslije posla. Znači, poslije posla običnog, škola je najveća prevara na svijetu.
Good grades. I was the one sitting there going, you're a liar, shut up. I just knew the teacher was lying. I knew school was bullshit. I knew college was bullshit. I knew university was a lie. I always knew it was a trick and a con. I didn't truly understand things to the level I understand them now. But I had an intrinsic understanding, and I think everybody does. If you're at a gas station and it's 3 a.m. and a Lambo pulls up and a guy gets out of it, you're thinking criminal, drug dealer, gangster. Yeah. You're not thinking, he has a uni degree. Because you're not going to think that. So when you see money, people don't even associate the money they see with university. But then they go, I want to make money, so I go to university. It doesn't make sense.
So school's a scam. And it's the biggest scam on earth. The reason it's a scam is because it operates in a vacuum. It operates in a vacuum because it cannot be fairly compared to any other service. So you can get a loan for school, but you can't use that money for anything else. Because if they were to open it up and put the school, the education.
Čisti primjer, na primjer, odite u banku i tražite kredit, recite im da imate poslovnu ideju, da bi htjeli investirati novac. 99% slučajeva će vas odbiti. Vratite se drugi dan u istu tu banku i tražite novac za školovanje. Dobit ćete ga odmah. Zašto? Zato što je to početak robovlasništva. Dobiješ kredit od ne znam ja koliko novaca, da bi platio to za školu koju ćeš ići sljedećih 4-5 godina, završiš s tim i što imaš? Imaš 40-50 tisuća dolara ili eura kredita na sebi, koji onda krećeš raditi u neku firmu, biti rob, da bi otplatio taj dug početni koji si se školovao. I šta onda? Ulazimo u onaj kotačić, ko što štakori uskoče u kotačić i krenu trčati i trče bez prestanka.
Education system into the fair market of capitalism, it would fail. If I were to give you $100,000 and say you can get a degree, or you can buy a crypto, or you can start your own business, or you can do anything you want with it, who is going to choose a degree?
Tako je. Ko bi izabrao školu? Da ja vas pitam. Znači, imate $100,000 mogućnosti za podići i pitanje je što želite s tim učiniti. Da li ćete si kupiti studij ili ćete investirati u biznis? Pitajte svaku osobu na ovom planetu što će napraviti, ko će izabrati školu. Oni koji su programirani i misle da će im to donijeti dobro u životu.
Nobody! So they say you can only get the money if you use it for education, which allows it to operate inside of a vacuum. Because it operates inside of a vacuum, it is one of the few things on the planet which is allowed to be non-competitive. It's not competitive against any other investment. Everyone knows that. But you can only get the money for that. So you can't get the money to invest in anything else. So you end up doing it.
Znači, što se događa? Plaćaš nešto, školu, čemu svake godine raste cijena, a ne možeš to prodati. Ne možeš profitirati od toga. Nema interesa u tome, znači nema nikakve konkretnog sadržaja da ćete vi iz toga izaći kao pobjednici.
Learning something that is outdated, slow to learn, it doubly inflates. There's more degrees every single year, meaning the value of a degree.
Tako je, znači svake godine duplo više studenata izlazi van na market. Svake godine sve više i više, a cijena raste. Znači, jednako prevara, scam.
Decreases, and the price goes up every single year. So it's worth less each year. It costs more year on year. There's no other industry where you can even get away with it. You get wrecked, except the education system.
I think everybody knows that the system and the path they lay out for you is not a path that's going to lead to where you want to be. And I didn't know what the other path was, but that intrinsic distrust for the system and that distrust for the things they wanted me to do made me search for other avenues. And then I found them, right? And if you speak to the people who are richest, if you speak to the people you know, this is for everyone at home as well, if you speak to the people you know who have the most money and go up to them and say, hey, what made you rich? None of them say school. It's bullshit, right? So it's all indoctrination. So
Ako imate u krugu nekog koji je stvarno uspješan i ko je slobodan, ajmo reći, ima bogatstvo, pitajte ga na koji način je zaradio novac. Da li mu je u jednom trenutku pomogla škola ili fakultet u tome. Nijednog investitora, nijednog poslovnog čovjeka, nijednog vlasnika biznisa nije škola naučila tome.
I knew it was indoctrination, and for that reason, I was always searching. If you're searching, you're going to find.
I think freedom is being destroyed in real time. Even before Corona, freedom is being destroyed. If you look at even very basic things, right, like freedom of speech, if a man isn't free to say what he thinks in the way he wants to say it, if political correctness or hate speech or whatever, if a man can't even express himself the way he thinks it, is he free?
Pa ono što sam pričao, da nismo više dozvoljeni da razmišljamo svojim mozgom. Što je najgore, nismo više dozvoljeni da pričamo ono što želimo. Nemaš više slobodu govora. Ne možeš izraziti svoje mišljenje na onaj način koji ti misliš da je pravi. Zašto? Zato što ćete ukinuti, zato što ćete ušutkat oni koji žele da se samo širi laž.
you know? And what they do first is they restrict your speech, because if they restrict your speech, then they can start to restrict your thoughts. If you're not allowed to ever say it, then you're probably not going to think it so often. This is why it's done on purpose. So I don't think that society is very free at all. And I think that in regards to keeping our employment, keeping our money coming in, making sure we don't lose our social medias, every single person has to censor themselves to some degree. And I try very, very best to skirt that line, you know, as far as possible. So I feel free. Freedom is the ability to scream when you want to scream, be angry when you want to be angry, smile when you want to smile, say what you want, do what you want. And that's a very, very rare commodity in the modern world. That's extremely rare.
Once you escape the matrix and you try and find a way to get your wealth outside of the system, then you can exist geographically anywhere. Once you can do that, then laws don't really apply to you. If they made a law in the UK I was unhappy with, I'd just leave. And if they made a law in Romania where I live I'm unhappy with, I would just leave. I don't have to be a lawbreaker. I don't have to be a criminal. I'll just go somewhere else, right? It's like in chess, they say good moves come from good positions. It's true. You can't find a good move from a terrible position, right? If you're sitting at home with no money, it's hard to invest in Bitcoin at $1. It doesn't matter what it goes to, right? You got to be in a good position to take advantage of things. So you've always got to be in a position where you have a good network, you have good information, you have some kind of liquid money.
Da se razumijemo, ja isto radim i dalje imam posao. Nije problem imat posao. Problem je u tome kako raspolažemo sa tim novcem koji smo zaradili na tom poslu.
You have the ability to survive without that money. You can take a risk. Like, it's hard to set yourself up. I'm in a position now where I'm in the NBA. I'm an NBA player. I can never go broke again. So it doesn't matter, right? But once you're in the NBA, I can throw $1 million at something. It doesn't matter if it works or not. So for me, it doesn't make a difference. And that's why it's so much easier. They always say the first million is the hardest, and they're completely right. Once you get to a certain point, you can gamble to it. Yeah, right.
You know what's amazing? Now I have money. Lots of people always ask me, how do I get rich? And I say, when's the last time you talked about money? When's the last time you sat down with your friend?
Na masu njih pita kako, zašto, kako. Pa prvo morate naučiti glavne osnove. Što je novac? Kako funkcionira novac? Kako funkcioniraju državne rezerve? Kako funkcionira kamate? Kako funkcionira porez? Kad ste zadnji put, to što kaže, pričali sa nekim ljudima o novcu? Nama je to, svama treba novac, svakom treba novac, svakom je to, ajmo reći, nekom je glavna, nekom nije glavna stavka u životu, ali niko od nas, običnih ljudi, ne razgovara u svakodnevici o tome.
And refuse to talk about anything else but how to make money. How are you making money? How are you making money? How am I making money? How can we make money together? How's that guy making money? How's that coffee shop there making money? Is that coffee shop making money? I don't know. Do they sell cake? No. Why don't they sell cake? Everyone in here is a businessman. If they had a cute young waitress, a girl, instead of a guy, they'd probably get more coffee. Like, no one analyzes anything. They just want to get rich, right? I want to be rich, but they have no plan to get rich. And a hope and a plan are very different things. I explain this to people all the time. Everyone has a dream, but no one has a plan. And nothing good is going to happen on accident.
Svi imaju san i svi bi to htjeli, a niko nema plan i niko ne zna kako to ostvariti.
Right? I didn't become world champion on accident. I didn't wake up and someone go, how'd you become world champion? And I went, oops, you have to plan for it. So I said to Tristan, we need to discuss money. We need to plan this. And we need to work out a way we can get rich. And that's when I started analyzing and understanding banks and the credit system and the money system, how the world actually works. And then I got really pissed off.
Jednom kad shvatite te stvari i kad zapravo izučite stvari kako funkcionira novac i što je zapravo novac, da je novac zapravo ništa, papir koji čupaju iz zraka, a mi ga nemamo ništa, shvatiš zapravo da zašto je to tako, zašto se to događa, zašto je novac bullshit, a mi ga nemamo.
Because I realized that money isn't real and it's all a scam. And the banks are destroying us in real time with inflation. And I still don't have any. And I also very, very much understood that as soon as you stop pushing forward, as soon as you go stagnant, you're dying, right? As soon as you stay in one place, you're slowly on the way down. I was under enormous pressure. I didn't think, oh, I have plenty of money now. It was the complete opposite. I wanted to work harder, more hours. I found the tap. Bro, if there was a golden tap, that unlimited money, and you had buckets, and you took one bucket of money, would you just take that bucket, or would you run back and get another bucket and run back and run? I couldn't stop. I couldn't sleep. I'd wake up to go piss at 3 a.m, take a piss, and by the time I finished pissing, I'd be like, I've slept 3 hours, that's enough. And wake the chicks up and put them back online. I couldn't get out of my brain because I saw that I'd replaced fighting, which I loved, with this. And this was my chance to escape the matrix. Bro, this has been inside of me since as early as I can remember. I remember walking to sixth form college. I was 16 or 17 with my 4 friends, and a Ferrari burnt past us. And I said to my boys,
Ovo tu je mene od malih nogu mučilo na neki način.
I was like, man, how'd that guy get that car? And they're like, don't know. I was like, doesn't that annoy you? Like, why would it annoy me? Because we're going to school. Our parents are on council estates. Like, we're trying to scrape 20 pounds a week to eat. This dude has 400 grand for a car. Doesn't that?
Kažu, a on je išao u školu, on je vjerovatno završio 3 fakulteta, on je direktor, zato ima novaca. Ne, ima i tih ljudi, da, ali ne zarađuju toliko velik novac da bi se zapitao, halo, pa šta čovjek taj radi? Kako uspijeva to? S čim je to postigao?
Aggravate you? Doesn't that show you that there's something about the world you do not understand? That you're missing something? And they're all like, not really. I was never that guy. I was pissed off for weeks because I saw some dude in his Ferrari. Do you understand? I was like, no, I have to. So now when I push my Ferrari, I'm like, this is the full circle. This is the universe giving me what I've always been manifesting.
Man, I can tell you stories now that even sound stupid to me. I went to...
To je ona velika moć razmišljanja. Jako puno ljudi ne vjeruju u to da ono o čemu razmišljate i ono o čemu mislite, vaše misli vam mogu zapravo to i donijeti u stvarnom životu.
Deauville, France, to fight for a world title. And I was sitting there, and the promoter hadn't turned up yet. And I ordered 2 Walters, 2 Perrier, and they came and they were like €9 each. And I paid for them, and I said to Tristan, 20 quid for fucking water. Because we're brokies. And he's like, yeah, that's crazy. And we're looking around, and there's all these tables just with water, champagne, food, you know, like $1,000 lunches, £1,000 lunches. No one gave a shit, right? And we're sitting there going, where are we going wrong with life? So I always knew it. I was always around it, especially through fighting. I went to a bunch of crazy countries, Kazakhstan, all these places. We're in Kazakhstan, a poor country. It's just G-Wagon, 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 G-Wagon. I'm like, what's going on? Like, there are people who are living outside the matrix, and once you live outside of it, once you get to a certain level of incomes and wealth, everything becomes free. Like, when I was looking at the price of that water, no one else in that restaurant even looked at the price of anything. It didn't matter. And that's what I'm like now. I don't know the price of anything I eat or buy. So I always knew that kind of life existed. I used to talk with my brother about it all the time. I was like, bro, we're doing something wrong. Something doesn't add up. We're still thinking in terms of like make money, spend money, money in the bank. There's people who are living for free and they just point at things and they get everything they want. My brother used to call me crazy. He's like, what are you talking about? I was like, no, there's the matrix. We're inside the system. We need to escape. And now I managed to find a way out. So I always knew it existed. I was always looking for it. So you don't know what's going to happen. I think that as wealth starts to flee the West, there's going to be serious issues.
That's scary shit, bro.
But I might be wrong. Who knows? I'm surprised.
I agree. I think I just feel some crazy shit's coming. Like people are just getting more and more divided. The government's getting crazier and crazier.
Puno ljudi slušam, kaže gotovo je, joj, prošla je ta korona. Ljudi, vi niste svjesni šta se nama još sprema. Kakve oni sad zapravo tek planove imaju. To mi je zapravo ko kad, nemam pojma, uzmete krenuti igrati igricu koja mislite da je nevjerovatno teška i da nećete ju proći nikad i bum, 2 levela, bum, prođeš igricu za 1 dan i skužiš da zapravo, stari moji, idem na malo jači level, idem probati još nešto više. Pa to je upravo ono što će oni nama napraviti sljedeće. Niko ne zna šta nam se sprema. Zato morate biti, i kad dođe, jako dođe taj trenutak, morate biti svjesni, jer svjesnost je ono što vam pomaže u tom trenutku. Ako si svjestan što ti rade, onda ćeš moći reagirati.
But they polarize us on purpose. Like, I'm not gonna...
I think it's gonna come to a complete crash, and it's gonna take a total reset for humanity to ever get back to...
True. The problem is the total reset.
I have no idea.
I think in our lifetime. But this is the problem. Whoever is powerful enough to construct a total reset will construct it in a way that we have even less freedom than we've ever had.
To je upravo ono o čemu sam pričao sad i to je to. Ako se desi taj totalni crash što oni očekuju i što oni misle da će se desiti.
And laziness.
Sorry.
Oh.
Uglavnom, da. Što je ovo zadnje, znači što sam mislio reći? oni žele dovesti nas do toj situacije da mi izađemo na ulici, da dođe do totalnog kaosa. Znači, to je njima cilj. Nemojte si ljudi dozvoliti to, da vam padne na pamet da idete rušiti nešto, da idete, nemam pojma, u ne znam kakve revolucije, jer to je njima i cilj. To je njima i cilj da nas totalno obuhvate i da totalno poludimo. I kad se desi to, i ako se to desi, desit će se reset, ali će se desiti reset na još gore razini, na još većoj kontroli i bit ćemo totalno u banani. Zato ljudi, fokusirajte se na sebe, na svoje voljene, na svoje bližnje, kako sebi i njima ostvariti neku bolju budućnost. Kako da razmišljate svojom glavom, da niste zaokupljeni sa nekakvim glupostima koje vam uzimaju vrijeme kroz dan i nećete nikad u životu shvatiti o čemu se zapravo radi. Eto, to je bilo to za ovaj video. Nadam se da vas se svidio, nadam se da vam je i malo potaknuo neke vijuge u glavi da počnete razmišljati na neki drugačiji način. Vidimo se.